Good morning. Out and about. First video I've done for quite a while. Several months at least. Last year sometime. I've been out this year but not been anywhere that I've not been times many. So I've already videoed kind of thing. So I've just parked there. I'm at Nether Booth. I think it's called a little hamlet. Now I used to park there years ago if we ever did Jagger's Clough up onto Edale Moor, but then they stopped parking there, but they appear to have allowed it again, so that's a bonus. That's the preferred start point for this one. I'm going up onto Edale Moor, which obviously I've done countless times, but there's two cloughs I've not actually been up. I've been up there like all the normal 15 routes up and down Kinder and Edale times many, but you know, obviously there's a few more lesser known or unconventional ones or whatever, and neither of these two have technically got paths up them, but they have it sort of thing. They're not marked on the map. So just walking up this access road up to Edale Youth Hostel and Activity Centre, but then there's a trail that carries on up onto Edale Moor, up Lady Booth Brook, I believe it's called. So I've not been up there. I've been over the top of it and along the bottom of it, but I've never been up that one. So go up there, that'll put me onto Edale Plateau. Call it the Druid Stone. So pick up the Mad Woman stones, carrying over to the Trig Point on Edale Moor, pick up the Halifax bomber as soon as I'm here, and probably the Wellington. Carry on along the path to Golden Clough again. There's technically not a path there, but there is. So give that a go to looking at again. I've been across the top of it times many, and certainly along the bottom, up and down Grindsbrook, but not actually been down or up at that particular clough. So again, just give them two a go to looking at. Well, the steps going up there, and there's obviously a path here which is following the river, so I'll take this one and see how we go. Like I say, this is all, there should be a path all the way up, but it's literally unexplored from my point of view, so we shall figure it out one way or the other, but we'll end up on top of Edale Moor up there in due course. So Lady Booth Brook. Yep. Thought you over it, you got a second branch. Why is it so buggy? Right then, up and over, or does that help me? Not really. Oh yeah, bugger. Always hyperextend your knee at this stage of the game. Oh, yeah. Buggier than a buggy thing. Thing is, going high doesn't always help because you're on a very steep incline, so all you need to do is get one foot slightly wrong and you go skidding down and try and swap foot. The things with this is we are gradually inclining, but we've got to get up there. So the longer it goes gradual, would infer that sooner or later it's going to go up. But, we shall see. As I say, I've not been up this one before, so I think, just looking on the satellite, it goes up here and then it sort of kicks left towards Ringing Roger. A little bit. Ooh, International Space Station just about to go over, but I've left the radio in the car, so that's no good. I can cancel that alarm. We are on still a path at this time, so I've not had to make my own up so far, so I'm assuming it carries on all the way up. But a pretty little babbling brook kind of thing all the way up, so that's always good. And as quiet as I expected it to be, not seen a soul. So yeah, we're heading up here, and then Druid Stone is just off to my left and just inside the plateau. There's like two paths, there's the edge path and then there's another path just sort of set back. So that's the I'll leave the perimeter one first obviously, and then straight over to the Druid. I think we'll see when I get on top first. And now the trail ends. There's a bit of a fork there, but the main trail looked to be coming this way. Oh, it looks like maybe now it was that one, because that looks potentially the lower incline up there. There's the perimeter. Somebody put perimeter at a minute. Where I'm taking now, or appear to be, looks like there's plug in there. So I think what I shall do is make an executive decision, and I'll break over that way and get up onto that bit of a shoulder, because it's although quite steep, not as steep as the rest of them. Rampart down in that hamlet there, come up that service road, Edale, Youth Hostel etc. is just behind that neighbour. So I've come up here, Lady Booth Brook, come up there, sort of a path most of the way, and then it sort of filters out to note. So there's different trods going different ways, but it's finding one that takes you up there. So there's the ridge, but still quite a way above me. Not far, but far enough at that angle. It'll take a few stops. We'll keep finding little trods what sort of switch me back up the hill a little bit. So that's sort of what I'm doing. It looks like there's one here, just going there. So I've just sort of switched back up several times, and that's that. So I'm just going to go here. Looks like the trail goes that way. So if that, as long as it's gaining altitude a couple of meters at a time, then eventually we'll get up there. And a little bit when the path comes up unexpectedly. Well, I'm expecting it. Well, I was thinking it was top of that ridge, but fortunately it's here. Yeah, grief. But I say he's coming up, you're climbing all the time up the clough, but it's relatively shallow up, which is fine, but the closer you get to the side, you still got to get that elevation gain. So it's you know, good to start with, not so good to end with. I'll wake you up in the morning, but I'm on top now, so bonus, I've just got to get up here somewhere to the Druid Stone. So this is like the main perimeter path of Kinder Scout Edale Moor. Top of the Druid Stone. And I've done all the climbing, just had a quick rest and a cup of tea. So I'll say I'm heading that away, going around Madone Stones over here, somewhere probably in that ballpark. Probably about half a mile is the Trig Point, so I'll be heading up onto that in a bit, and then over to the Halifax, and then the Wellington, and then Ringing Roger, down Golden Clough. Simple as that. Just come from Druid Stone and follow the path. Basically there's a trail which appears at the moment, although it does disappear in front of me. I don't know where it's going at the minute, but Mad Woman Stones is straight in front of me, which I thought it might be going towards. Vegetation change again. It is slushy but relatively firm. Ooh, people. I've seen a few people knocking around in distance. That's 3 over there, stood in the middle of nowhere, some over that rocks, and there's a couple of people having tea at Mad Woman's, and somebody else just sat in front of me. See more now from Mad Woman's Stones. That's where I'm heading. Looks to be flagging, but how far it goes is anybody's guess. But over that direction's where I'm at. You've got top of Blackden Brook here, Fairbrook Naze, and Fairbrook over the other side of that first lump, and Fairbrook Naze, and that's on to Kinder Scout then from there. And what? Up over to Bleaklow, so you've got the James Thorne where the Lancaster and the Dakota is, up here to Shelfmoor, High Shelf Stones Trig Points up there at Super Fortress, of course, Pennine Way. Brings you along there to Bleaklow Stones. Bleaklow Head will be over there, Bleaklow Stones is there. It comes along to Grinner Stones and over to Barrow Stones and the source of the Derwent. This valley in front of me is Alport, so you've got Alport Castles there, and tower will be in front of it. Can't quite make the tower out from this angle. Rowley pasture then in front, goes over the top here down to that tree line, and that puts you up to Hope Cross and carries on up to Win Hill. I was like, Hope Cross will be down there, up to Win Hill. Over the back there will be Horsell Tor, Outer Edge, Marjorie Hill, Derwent Edge, Stanage, Bamford Edge in foreground, Win Hill, that plateau, goes down to Loose Hill, and the Great Ridge, and everything's over that way now. You can just see Loose Hill of that at the moment. Obviously I was over that side earlier, and that's it. So now I'm heading that away over to the Trig. Oyster Clough, so the bothy's at the end of that clough there. Well, yeah, cracking day, t-shirt weather all day. It looks fairly dry for the most part. There's some boggy sections, so it's always got potential. A bit like this actually. Crap, that looks a bit moist. Scratch what I've just said. Not so dry. This could prove interesting. Looks like a ATV trail's gone along there, so you would imagine it's not that deep. But imagine, and in fact, might be a different kettle of fish. Of course, once you're committed, not too bad there, not too bad there. It's like once you transfer your weight, that's when you find out you might be have to jump back again, which not always be viable. But so far, so good. Right, not too bad at the moment, but not count my chickens just yet. Another Clough and Dam section just coming into view. The decent way of dropping in, you'll do. So we're just heading over to Edale Moor Trig Point, which is just over there on the crest. A little bit peat boggy at the minute, but nothing too dramatic because I've had quite a decent dry spell. Dams just off to my right. So what we have here is Edale Moor Trig Point, a bag of crap. If you're going to come out on wild camp, but take the bloody stuff with you. Alright, Edale Moor Trig. And some dumbass's wild camp who humps it up here and then leaves the bloody thing. So I'll see what space I've got in my bag. I'll take some loose rubbish. I don't think I can get everything into storage I've got, but I'll have a look. Circle of the trig point and head off to pick up the Halifax. So I've got as much of that rubbish as I can in there, 2 litre water bottles and gas canisters and things. I've stuck them in my bag to get off the hill, but I ain't got space for the tent and everything. I've not been up to this one for quite a few years, but 35 metres. Oop, I was thinking. Oh, that looks yeah. This might be more interesting than I hoped for. Now then, is that? Got to wait. Oh yes, it is. So, one little section of Halifax. So they're tricky to find without GPS, even when you know where they are. They're not always the most straightforward things to find, because there's very little of them left, so you don't see them until you drone down. So I just had to recover my drone battery. Battery went flat. So yeah, trig point's over there. First section of Halifax is there. So about 100 metres. Main Halifax debris pool is there. Someone stuck a piece in so you can see it from a little bit of a distance. Right, so this is the Wellington, sorry, the Halifax. There's supposed to be 3 pools, or I've found 3 pools previously, but I can only find 2 today. But I'll say, remember, I think the middle one was only literally probably 1 piece, randomly in the middle of nowhere. So that seems to have gone from where I had it pinned. So yeah, trig point's over there. I'm now at the last section of the Halifax, and now I'm heading west. Grindsbrook Knoll just sticking above the edge there. So Ringing Roger is over that way, which is where the basic ballpark of where I'm going, but also 330 metres, probably about 265 degrees west, basically, not far off. 330 metres is the Wellington bomber, but getting to it is the trick. It's usually a bit of a... It's 330 metres straight line, but I don't think it's straight line to get to it from previous missions. You've got a lot of switchbacks to do to try and find a way across these groughs and dams and things. and there's not much of it, literally a couple of small pieces, but pick it up on the way back if I can get there without sinking. Would be a bonus. Yeah, it's quite buggy on this bit. Now what we've got here is a bit of a, it's where decisions are made. Obviously straight line is that way, but do I go down here and up and then down and up and down and up, or can I go around the side, which just takes me over in that general direction? So I think that's the plan at the minute. I'll contour around the side of this clough, taking me in the ballpark direction of where I want to be, and hopefully somewhere along it it'll be easier to cross if I need to. But saves me going down, up, down, up. I could potentially drop down into the bed and walk along the bed, because that looks quite dry and probably easier going as long as it's going in the right direction. Trick with that is they do meander, so it could be quite easy to wander off on a tangent without sort of realising. Head this way and then take a bearing when I get a bit closer and adjust to suit. So there is a stile just up there, so the wreck should be here-ish, just over the fence line I should think. Or just to annoy me, I'll go I'll go and cross the stile and it'll be on this side, but I'm fairly sure it's on the other side now. We'll find out in due course. So I'm just tangenting away from it for the moment, hit that stile and come down the fence line. Up. Yeah, so there's the trig again, and then the Wellington should be just down this track. I'll follow the trail until I get 90 degrees off it. Pretty much off me now, 15 metres. That looks, there you go. So that looks like it's never grown. So there you go, Wellington Bomber. All that's left of that one. Well, I want to go down Golden Clough because I've not been down there or up it. So just explore that. That'll put me onto the main Grindsbrook path, and then there'll just be another bit of a footpath behind pub, what links me up to one I have been before, which is one I'll pick up back to the car. Golden Clough is below me, and there's no path on the map regarding that, but it does seem to be way up and down. So anything where it's all that green, that's Kinder Scout, and everything this side is Edale Moor, so that's like the dividing line more or less. Again, and then people can start doing all these little stone pyramid things everywhere. So that's the trail over to Ringing Roger. That sort of skirts around the side underneath the base, and there does look to be a trail tangenting off. So we'll give that a little explore, which should maybe at least take me down Golden Clough. Yeah, looks to be some form of trail, so we shall give it a go to looking at. So primary objective of doing this route today is to pick up the two random routes I've not done previously. Bottom of that rock outcrop up there is another Wellington Bomber. Very small debris pool again for that one, but I've not gone that way today, so not pick it up. So yeah, I just meander down here to that tree line. That's Golden Clough to my right. Been more or less a trail most of the way, a couple of different tangents, but so far we've managed to stick on something like the right one, although it does seem to fade away again in a minute. Down here, across there, a couple of water crossings, but the bottom's there, so obviously just got to link that bit with this bit. Nothing too dramatic. Golden Clough, not far from the bottom now. More rubbish. Cleared part of that site up at Trig Point. What could fit in my bag easily. couldn't get the tent. I just found another bottle on here. So I'll take that with me as well. No need. Bring it in, take it out. It's lighter taking it out. You've emptied the bloody thing. Right, I'll have a minute I think, stick this in my bag and have a quick drink while I'm here. Widening water course. Possibly around there. Rather than trying to go through that. Not too bad. Another bottle. No need. I'm just hitting the main Grindsbrook path now. So I'm going to go left through that wood, but I'll take a few photos while I'm here. The ringing roger up there, Golden Clough. I've just come down, so that's the main Grindsbrook path. Over the footbridge there. Now we're just going to go through this little bit of woodland. And then just pick up another sort of short length of footpath I've not done previously. That'll then link up to one I have done several times. And I said that from there it's certainly not very exciting. It'll just be fields. Back to the car, the old Nag's Head. And now it's a new section of path I've not been before. That's it, so it's this sort of trail and fields the rest of the way back. Now about 20 minutes, give or take, I should be back at the motor. About 600 metres, half a k just over left to go. Get to the right side of the gate, I suppose, might open it, is it? Not that long a walk, but you know you've done it. Probably be about 6 miles, just over when I get back, and probably took about 6 hours. That's where I went this morning, up to the Youth Hostel, and then up that clough and up that face, which wasn't the easiest route I've ever done. And there we was back. 6.12 miles, 9.59 kilometres, 5 hours 25 minutes.